Out there at Princes Park after Friday night, David Parkin and John Kennedy, opposing coaches, talking about the game with Lou Richards.
David, first of all, congratulations on a great win, but why the sudden improvement in Carlton's form, and are they that good as they looked on Friday night?
Well, I think we have the capacity to be that good, at least we know that, and that's probably been the big plus that came from the game. But why the sudden change? We've had bits and pieces, Lou, often. We've never had 4 quarters. We've certainly not won 4 quarters.
Well, some killed them, for instance,
well,
yes.
We won 1 and lost 3 quarters
yes.
that day. Well, 1 quarter was good enough to win, but we've got to go right back until we played North first round 84 to find a game where we've played as consistently throughout. It's a long time.
Why have you? Well, what do you put down? What do you put it down to that great form on the Friday night? Because you look sensational.
Well, we had, for the first time, Lou, we had good balance. We had about 10 experienced and the 10 young blokes. We've never been able to get the 10 experienced in, but we've got them now. We had a line that was made up of a very experienced player, a medium experienced and a young enthusiastic kid. Those sorts of things in structure helped us a lot. But we got good result early. We had a few sorties forward and scored goals. North had sorties forward and scored points. And if you get good reward for effort early, there's a tremendous confidence which comes from that, and we certainly got that.
John, what went wrong with the Northerners after 7 great weeks?
Well, you've heard what went wrong when you listened to Dave.
I want to hear your opinion about it.
Well, these teams, like, as Dave said, everything seemed to fall into place for Carlton. It usually happens against the North, and they seem to gear up. But, oh no, it's hard to say, really. We had some of our players, goes without saying, didn't play as well as we would expect them to play, but I know coaches always say you've got to put it down to the other side, but I think that on Friday you'd agree that Carlton, you know, when North got the ball, Carlton were just inspired in the way they tackled, and that put a lot of our players under pressure that they'd never experienced before, and they fell into mistakes.
John, what effect would that severe loss, and it was a big loss because you lost by a big margin, have on the younger players there that have built up a tremendous amount of confidence over the last few weeks?
Well, it'll make us grit our teeth and look to 1 week forward and try and get that.
It won't have a bad effect on them?
Well, that remains to be seen, but I don't think it will. I hope it won't, and it's my job to see that it doesn't.
John, I was rather surprised you didn't start off with Lyle in the first ruck. Why? Because he played so well this year.
He has played well, and we were just hoping to gain some initiative with Steve McCann there, because he plays the ruck a little bit differently from Mark. But it didn't work that way, so I suppose we've got to accept our share of the blame for that. What
about your success with Madden? Getting the #1 berth, has that made all the difference to him, and why was he kept out of that position for so long?
Well, it's a good question, Lou. We've had 3 players, Jones, Honeybun and Madden, all of similar shape and size, all can do that particular job. Not quite so good as a forward ruckman, but particularly good on the ball. And I think had we taken any one of those 3 and given them the kind of time on the job, then they would have got enormous confidence. And it's just that Justin was the one player who was chosen. He's lived up to that expectation, and he's just got better and better and better in the last 5 weeks.
Well, he's looking good, isn't he?
Well, he's certainly
Plus
given
he's
us
marking, that's the big
He's
thing.
taken marks around the ground. He's getting 18 or 20 possessions, which a ruckman has to get these days. No, he's been very good.
John, you'll have an easy match next week, St Kilda.
Typical Lou. You know very well it's not the case at all. I went to see St Kilda yesterday, and they gave no quarter and they asked none, so we're looking forward to a very hard match, and if we get the 4 points we'll be very grateful.
Thanks, John, and thanks, David.
John and David from Pawtucket, we've got the hams, the small goods for you there. Well, it's delightful, as you know. We also have, you've got any spare time at all, this is the Sports Monthly book, you can have a read through that too, John. Also you, David. And we have the Valentine's cheese. No, there's no
4 and 20.
No 4 and 20 this morning for you. Ed McMahon Farm.
I'm going to write
keep you sweet. That's
Thanks very much, Jack. Thanks, Jack.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. Let's check the voting in the Canberra Club Award. For North Melbourne, Jimmy Cracker, Ramsey and Peter German. Whilst for Carlton, David Rhys-Jones, Justin Madden and David Glascott. In the progressives for the 2 sides. Well, Jimmy Cracker is a runaway leader at Arden Street, and Tommy Alvin is a handy leader at Princes Park.
So join in.